Just a reminder from your friends at ON Radio. ON Cares.
And now, as a public service, the Valley Breeze and ValleyBreeze.com present recent death notices from the local area. Cartier's Funeral Home in Bellingham announces the passing of Muriel C. Giguere, 88 years old, of Blackstone, who passed away peacefully on Saturday, May 23rd at the Friendly Home. She was the beloved husband for 67 years of the late Reynold J. Giguere. Born in Woonsocket, she is the loving mother of Denise Carden of Blackstone, Diane T. Lozo of Newton, New Hampshire, and she leaves 3 cherished grandchildren. She's the sister of Helen LePage, Teresa Killier, and Lucille Archambault, all of Woonsocket. A resident of Blackstone since 1953, formerly of Woonsocket, Muriel worked as a manager in the eunuch clothing at Wrentham State School for 17 years, retiring in 1991, and previously she worked at the Warwick Zare and Dan Sadwin Curtain Shop here in Woonsocket. Arrangements are private due to COVID-19. The celebration of life will be held in the future. In lieu of flowers, donations may be made to the Alzheimer's Association and would be appreciated. Arrangements under the direction of the Cartier Funeral Home, 151 South Main Street in Bellingham. To sign the guest book, cartiersfuneralhome.com, Muriel C. Giguere of Blackstone. The O'Neill Funeral Homes announced the passing of Georgette M. Robillard, 67 years old, of Cumberland, who passed away peacefully Friday, May 29th. She was the beloved wife of Norman A. Robillard. They were Hammerfield. Georgette was a property manager for many years before retiring, and besides her husband and mother, she is survived by 2 sisters, Doris Beam and Monique Gazelle. She also leaves 1 brother, Richard Turcott. Relatives and friends are kindly invited to visiting hours tomorrow, Tuesday, June 2nd, from 4 to 7 p.m. at the O'Neill Funeral Home, 3102 Menden Road, Cumberland. Due to COVID-19, all guests upon arrival will be asked to remain in their vehicle. They will be invited into the funeral home as...
Good morning and welcome to Coffee Ann, the longest-running panel discussion show in American radio. To make a comment or ask a question to the panel, call 401-766-1240 or email at joe@onesocketradio.com. And now, let's join the Coffee Ann panel on ON 1240, WOON One Socket Radio.
Good morning to you. It is Coffee Ann time on ON AM and FM, and thanks for joining us this morning. It's Tuesday morning. It's June 2nd, and it is time for Coffee Ann. I'm Joe Callahan. Joining us on the phone this morning is Linda Tebow. Good morning to you, Linda.
Good morning, Joe.
How are you today?
I'm great. I'm great.
Excellent. Everything fantastic out there in North Smithfield?
It is. I'm seeing some sunshine. It's a little bit chilly, but the sun is trying to shine and give us a good day, I hope.
Well, we certainly hope so. All right, and Ed Carew's here from the Carew Investment Group, live in the studio. Good morning, Ed.
Good morning, Joe. Good morning, Linda. Good morning, everyone.
Nice to have
Good morning, Ed.
Nice to have Ed here in studio. I'm in studio, by the way, as well. This is my second day back. It was a nice 10-week break, if you could call it a break. All right, our first segment sponsor of the Coffee Ann program is the Carew Investment Group, so let's get a first message from Ed Carew.
Okay, thanks, Joe. Good morning, everyone. Ed Carew here of the Carew Investment Group, 68 Cumberland Street in Woonsocket. Our telephone number is 765-8880. And if you're looking for an investment firm that puts you first and works hard on your behalf, I'd like you to consider us. We're right here in Woonsocket, and we've been in business since 1987, so you don't have to go out of town for an experienced advisor or work with an advisor based in Boston or New York or who knows where, someone that you're probably never going to meet. And we encourage our clients to come to the office and sit down with us as often as they like. Why? Because we like to do business the old-fashioned way. We want to get to know you on a more personal basis so that we're more attuned to your financial needs. So if you're interested in speaking with us for a free no-obligation consultation and find out more about how we'll invest your money, you could call me or Paul at 765-8880. Securities are offered through Bolton Global Capital, member FINRA and SIPC, and advisory services offered through Bolton Global Asset Management, a registered investment advisor.
Okay, Ed, thank you very much. All right, pet peeve of the day. Ready?
Uh-oh.
And it just happened to me. It just happened to me, Linda.
What happened?
I get a text message on my phone. Now, normally when I get text messages on my phone, it's from somebody I know. But on occasion, I get a text message. It's not from it's not from anyone I know, and it's not from a person. It's a robot of some kind telling me telling me I've won something, and to click on this link.
Oh yeah. Did you click it yet?
Not yet.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
Oh, don't do it. Oh, don't do that. Oh, I see.
Mustn't do that.
I don't. If you want, and it looks like it, because somewhere in the website that's been sent to me, it does say Amazon, but I just don't think it's really from them. So, so I just leave it alone. Although, remember the old days when the phone rang and it was someone misdialed and it was the wrong number?
Yeah.
Well, that's what happens on text messages too now. Someone will text a message. I think I'm sending it to Ed, but I punched in his number wrong, and I've sent it to a stranger.
I've done that before.
So there you go. There are people that make some mistakes when they text message out,
right?
And
right.
the responses can be quite funny.
Yeah.
That gets sent back, but this is, and I don't mind those coming in. Okay, that's an honest mistake. I just don't like getting the robot call saying I've won something and click on this. So cut it out.
Won a big prize. Yeah.
Although when my phone does ring, my three favorite people sometimes call me. Unknown caller, and wireless caller, and potential spam.
There you go.
He's my best friend. He's my newest best friend.
I got one of those guys too. His name is Spam Likely.
Oh, okay. And he gets around. I mean, he's from Texas, and I've seen him from Oklahoma and Arizona, but they never leave a message.
No.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why. I just can't get to the phone to answer my potential spam. And that's got a little meter on there of how likely it is spam.
Oh, really?
Sometimes it's less, and sometimes it's really high.
Yeah.
I don't know how Verizon knows. But
mine doesn't work. I mean,
what doesn't work?
Doesn't ring.
Okay.
I've got it's an iPhone,
yeah.
And they have a thing called silence unknown callers. So if you're not on my phone, it's not going to ring. It'll come through.
Yeah.
And if you're going to leave a message, it'll shoot you over to voicemail, but it's only going to ring once.
And that's it.
You're gone.
Okay. All right. So do you get those calls too, Linda? Do you get potential spam?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
Okay.
And I get them. Well, I get them on my cell, but I still have a landline.
Yeah.
So and I have caller ID, so it'll say spam or unknown name, something like that.
It says that on the landline too.
Yes.
It does.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we have.
I don't know it says that now.
Too, and I don't know why we still have it. Yeah.
Because you like throwing money away, Ed.
There you go. Because I like to use it to call into the radio station because it's a better quality of sound.
Now that's true.
Is that okay?
That part is true, and because sometimes if you're driving around and using your cell phone, it may drop out a little bit and then come back. So
exactly.
That's an issue.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we mentioned this last week, and we mentioned again to Ed. Pier 1 Imports filed for bankruptcy, and now they're closing all their stores. I read that yesterday. Yeah, I think they have 500 or so left. They want to be done by October.
Wow.
And just be. That's it. We're just selling everything out. And there we go. So they're just done. So too bad. Although I never, I don't think I ever bought anything at a Pier 1 Imports. I was in them when there was one in Woonsocket.
I bought something there once or twice.
And there was just a lot of little furniture, little tables, little pillows, things like that.
Different looking stuff.
Yeah. Yes, it was different, and they just said what I read yesterday said Amazon and Walmart and Target up their home furnishing game, and just knocked them out of the ballpark. Yeah, and they just couldn't compete with them anymore. So that's what happens with those guys. So who's next on the horizon? Who's going to file for bankruptcy
next?
There's
a whole bunch of names on the horizon.
I'm sure. I keep hearing stories about some restaurants. I'm thinking chains, not the local ones around here, but chains might not be able to survive this pandemic.
Could be.
And I'm wondering which ones they're actually talking about. And the only one that really comes to mind is Chipotle. There isn't one around here, but they're pretty big in Massachusetts. And but they had issues before with tainted food.
I wouldn't worry about them.
No, because they're owned by McDonald's.
No, they're not owned by McDonald's.
I thought they were.
No.
Did that get?
They were
They
a
were.
long time ago.
Okay, they've
And
split off from
McDonald's
them.
spun them off.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. But they're doing.
Chipotle's
But they're doing
shares are
okay.
almost $1,000 a share.
Are they?
Yeah.
Oh well.
Yeah, they're doing fine.
See what I know.
Yeah, there you go.
All right. Never mind.
Yeah.
Buy your Chipotle
Never mind.
shares. Yeah, never mind. They're doing just fine. So,
Yeah.
Ed, are the
Yes, sir.
is the rooting riots and looting? I'm combining words. Is this affecting the stock market in any way yet?
No, it isn't.
Even with Target closing a lot of their stores temporarily.
No, it isn't.
No?
The
Okay.
stock market has no conscience.
Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
Well, it makes no judgment
Okay.
about this type of thing.
Okay.
Okay? It's a short-term thing.
Mm-hmm.
And, it's going to more, it's going to look at it, but it's concentrating more on the economy in general
Mm-hmm.
and how things are getting, better and that people are starting to go back to work as
Mm-hmm.
businesses reopen and, that type of thing. The news on COVID-19 is not as bad as before.
Right.
So that's what the stock market is focusing on and not the rooting, as you call
The
it.
rooting. Well, it takes so long to say rioting and looting, so we're just going to combine them.
I condensed it.
I thought that was a smart idea. So, all right. So, okay. So I'm glad it's not affecting it in, either way. It's not sending it down and it's not sending it up. It's staying the course, basically.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
All right. So back to the rooting.
Yeah.
Back into the riots and stuff like that. Now, we did have a message that's been written in. I'm going to get to that message now. Another thing which hasn't been mentioned with these protests, marches, and riots, what about social distancing with COVID-19?
I was
Bingo.
I actually thought that.
I was
And
going to
said,
say that.
Yeah.
There's no more COVID-19. Let's all get together and riot.
That's right.
Yeah.
Now, some of them are wearing masks,
Yeah.
but not all of them.
Well, are they wearing it for COVID-19 or not to be recognized?
Yeah.
That's right.
Well,
So I'm waiting. They keep saying, well, there might be another big second wave of COVID-19 coming.
and this could cause it, I think.
It could
so.
cause it.
Yeah.
I
So
think it
I'm
could.
looking for a large outbreak to happen in Minneapolis
Yeah.
or Atlanta or
Hollywood, Los Angeles.
Los
all those
Angeles
places in
or
California.
Denver. Some of the bigger places. And so if it doesn't happen, I just wonder, okay, maybe the virus is just dead for now. If there isn't a big
or lying
second wave.
dormant somewhere.
Maybe.
Yeah. It's encouraging a little bit to see that in Rhode Island. It seems like that people were wearing masks. However, they were shoulder to shoulder, and they looked a little bit more peaceful. I think they send activists. I think those groups that like to stir the pot send people that to stir up the pot and make it worse than it is.
That's a good point. The other part of the other part of the email, by the way, just says.
And you know what else I think, Joe? The thing is, and I think our governor said it, everybody's got a right to protest peacefully, but they don't have a right to loot and burn down the businesses, It's like, I'm angry with my neighbor, so I'll burn down my house. What are they thinking? It doesn't serve any purpose at all to be throwing rocks and shooting and...
It serves a purpose.
What?
I get free stuff.
Oh, yeah. Well, I know.
yeah.
But, and you have to feel bad for those small businesses or
do.
even the big businesses that are getting looted and burnt. And that's what... all right, they get free stuff, but, that's why I think it seems to me, you look at... and the news is so hard because they focus in on the bad. But, you see them that are kind of... The people that are just walking and saying their piece, even though, and they've got a mask on, and they seem to leave, and then
the bad guys come.
Then the rooters come in.
Yeah. The rooters come in.
The rooters come in, and the bad guys, and it's like you got a right to carry a gun, but you don't have a right to kill people. It's the same thing.
The email goes on to say the country is a mess. The integrity of the proud and bold and brave is no longer. We got a hell of a lot of work to do to make this right. Can you imagine other countries that used to look up to us? We are shamed. So
and the other countries are walking in protest too to support us.
Are they? I haven't
Have
seen
they
any
seen
of that.
it? Yeah,
no,
in
I haven't
London
seen...
and in Germany, sure. They're,
Are they?
they're
Wow.
yeah, they're out there, yeah, without masks.
No masks.
Some of them. So I don't know. It doesn't. I don't think it bodes well for us in the world, and this. The virus is going to win, if they keep this up.
All right, more of this is coming up. If you have any comments or questions, 766-1240. Feel free to call it in. Right now it's time for your second message from the Carew Investment Group. So back to you, Ed.
Okay, thanks again, Joe. Good morning again, everyone. Are you retired or retiring soon? Well, that's great. Congratulations. You may be retiring, but your money can't afford to retire. I'm Ed Carew of the Carew Investment Group at 68 Cumberland Street in Woonsocket. At the Carew Investment Group, we offer personal management of client money, especially from the proceeds of their 401k after they leave the workforce. If you want to find out more about our services and for professional management of your investments, you can call me, Ed Carew, or you can call Paul Carew at 765-8880. Securities are offered through Bolton Global Capital, a member FINRA and SIPC, and advisory services offered through Bolton Global Asset Management, a registered investment advisor.
Thanks, Ed. And the Coffee and program will continue. Please stay tuned.
Because of the coronavirus, in-store shopping has been suspended at Wright's Dairy Farm until further notice. However, milk, cream, eggs, bread, cakes, and more than 70 of your favorite bakery items are still available every day at Wright's Dairy Farm through their no-contact curbside pickup. There are now 2 ways to order your items at Wright's Dairy Farm. Have your credit card ready and call them at 401-767-3014, extension 4, 401-767-3014, extension 4, or go online to wrightsdairyfarm.com. You choose the day and time that you want to pick up your order. When you arrive to Wright's Dairy Farm, follow the signage and instructions given. Stay in your vehicle, and your order will be brought out to you. Wright's Dairy Farm is open Monday through Saturday, 8 a.m. to 7 p.m., and Sundays, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Wright's Dairy Farm thanks you for your support and patience during this time.
Join the Honey Shop for their grand opening as they expand their baked goods and specialty foods. This will include keto, Atkins, diabetic friendly, and gluten-free. Additionally, the Honey Shop will have artisan breads, sourdough, pizza strips, take and bake, and heat and eat meals. This grand opening and expansion of the baked goods will take place starting Wednesday, June 17th through Saturday, June 20th at the 6 Winthrop Street, Woonsocket location. For more information, go to the Honey Shop's Facebook page. Remember, if you love food, you'll love the Honey Shop. The Coffee and Panel is enjoying coffee from Down East Coffee in Pawtucket. They're a 62-year-old family business that roasts all its coffee right here in Rhode Island. Founded originally as Excellent Coffee Company, they provide great coffee to food service establishments throughout New England.
ON Radio, ON Worldwide in Woonsocket.
All right, it's Coffee and on ON, AM, and FM. And this is Joe Callahan here with Ed Carew. And Linda Tebow is with us. Still with us, Linda?
I'm here.
Just want to make sure we haven't lost a Linda.
It,
Because that would be a bad thing. So. Now, Ed said you got a friend in Florida. Did you want to bring this up?
Yeah. A friend of mine that used to live in this area moved to Florida several years ago, and we talk either by phone or on Facebook Messenger or something, or just about every day. And we was talking yesterday about the rioting and stuff. And so I got he sent me a copy of a text message that he received from the sheriff's department where he's living.
Okay.
And he got this a little bit after 6 o'clock, and he forwarded it to me.
6 o'clock last night?
Last night.
Okay.
It said, "Stay out of Auburndale and Winter Haven today. They are gathering at Auburndale Park downtown now. Another crowd is gathering at Home Depot in Winter Haven now. At 6 p.m., this group says that they're going into the white neighborhoods and taking back what is theirs."
wow.
Then it goes on to say, "Per Sheriff Grady Judd to the homeowners of that area, have your guns loaded and be ready.
Wow.
Oh, my God.
To the rioters, if you break into someone's house, be prepared for them to break you and break out their guns."
Oh, my
And Polk
God.
County has extended the curfew.
Okay.
Right. This was sent to me by.
That
by
is amazing.
He went on to say that Home Depot is about 1,000 yards from his house.
Is it?
Oh my God!
Wow. So have you heard from him last night or this morning?
I haven't heard from him since.
Wow.
Not yet.
So that just it just leads me to believe.
That gives me chills.
It does, but it just leads you to believe that I don't know how, but this whole thing seems to be organized, and they find out where the peaceful protests are taking place,
right?
Which usually happen in the afternoon, right. And they say let's go there, 6 o'clock at night, 7 o'clock at night when it starts getting dark,
right?
And then we start doing the rooting, the rioting, and the looting at that time. Doesn't it seem organized?
Yeah.
Well, I think it is. I think those activists that it seems that's terrible. I hope your friends stay safe. It seems as though the people that just want their voices heard, though they may be, and they're angry, and I kind of
they have the right to be angry.
They have the right
to be angry. They don't have the right to riot and loot.
They really don't. But it seems like the peaceful, the ones that just want their voices heard, Ed, they leave when it's the curfew. Yeah. They get their message across. They might kneel in some of the places, like even in New Bedford, and even here, the police are talking with them and empathizing with them and taking a knee with them, and then they leave. And I think groups from different places are you're right, targeting those places where they know there's going to be a peaceful demonstration, and they're the ones that are causing all. And they're the ones, by the way, that get all the press and the news.
Well, sure.
The fires and tipping the cars over, and they're there for that.
Go ahead, Ed.
I have another friend in Rogers, Minnesota.
How far is that from Minneapolis?
Well, I looked it up because I didn't know.
Okay.
23 miles.
Okay, close by.
Yeah. I mean, I'm 30 miles from Boston, where I live. Okay, so I was just curious and concerned, and so I sent her an email yesterday. Yes, I guess it was yesterday morning on Messenger, and asked her, are you guys okay? How how you holding up? Blah blah blah. And she wrote back. She said that they're fine. I said, hope your family is fine and everything. And she said they're fine. And she said, as far as the rioting is going on, says they have peaceful protesting during the day and up until early evening, before sundown. She says, and then those people go home, and what she called professional protesters come out and start looting and rioting and and causing all the problems. So
right, that's what it seems like. Yeah,
it's so well organized, though.
Yeah,
because they're hitting cities all over the country all at the same time.
Right.
I just don't know how is it so well organized.
And those aren't the people that are worried about the cause or Mr. Floyd.
Oh no, they don't know.
They just want to loot and get the free stuff. That's There
was a police cruiser set on fire in Providence last night.
Yeah, I saw that on the news this morning.
Burned it out completely. They went into Providence Place Mall. I don't know if they did any damage inside it. Maybe we'll hear about it later today. And this is after the peaceful protest happened.
After they left.
Yes.
Probably. Yeah.
So
I thought there was damage at the Providence Place Mall and surrounding areas right around there.
They talked
what
about
I saw on TV this morning.
They talked about the convention center with some smashed windows, and Francis Street was blocked off, and Wade Bossett Street, and that's right downtown. If you don't know where those streets are.
Yeah. That's...
And they keep planning on having more.
Yeah.
I think there's another one planned in Boston today.
Probably.
But for the afternoon.
Yeah, but
that always leads into the nighttime.
Right.
New York City has a curfew. It's the first time in 70 years that they have a curfew.
A lot of towns.
From 6 o'clock or 8 o'clock at night until 5 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
New York City.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Does that mean everybody's going to be off the streets? Or
that's what they're saying. I guess if you're going to work,
Yeah, or first responders.
You may get stopped, but if you don't, if you're dressed half decent and you don't look like you're going to be a rioter,
make sure you have your papers.
yeah.
But and I brought this up yesterday, Linda, on Coffee In, because it was the big story in Minnesota. There was a retired Minnesota firefighter, took his entire life savings, him and his families, bought a restaurant and bar, and he was going to have his grand opening yesterday. But the place got looted the weekend before.
Right.
And when talking with him, he can hear what the looters are saying. And even though he's saying, because he was African American, why are you wrecking my place?
Right.
I'm black like you guys.
Yeah.
And you know what the response is
what
from the
say?
looters? It doesn't matter because you have insurance. So we're going to wreck the place, but you're going to get all your money back, so don't worry about it. Now he turns to the media after he tells them all that. He goes, I don't have insurance.
Yeah.
He took all his money, didn't have to get a mortgage or anything like that, and just put all his money into it. I don't have any.
Yeah, and those are the businesses that I get concerned. You've got to feel sad for these people. There was another one that they had shown too, with a looter. They took his safe, for gosh sakes, and it was that kind of a same story where people saved a lifetime to purchase and start up their business and excited to get it going because of the stay-at-home things had been lifted. I mean, so those are I have to tell you, I have no sympathy for those people at all.
No.
I mean, I'll listen to what the peaceful people are saying, and, it was wrong what happened there in Minneapolis.
I brought this up yesterday as well. That same man that in Minneapolis, a GoFundMe page was set up for him.
Yeah.
Last I heard, $800,000 was raised for him.
Yeah.
So maybe that's not enough. I don't know, but it's a pretty good chunk.
But and I was seeing the piece where his brother was at the little makeshift memorial there and was saying to the people, be peaceful with your protesters. Stop this. The family.
Yeah.
It's not honoring Mr. Floyd.
Oh no.
It has nothing to do with that. It has to do with they're not nice people that are looting and setting fires like that, and that's what they want to do. And that's sad. That is, it's really sad.
Ed, do you agree with the president when he says Antifa is a terrorist organization? Domestic terrorist organization.
I don't know. I always have trouble remembering what Antifa means. I guess
I don't know. I don't know if it means anything.
I think it means anti-fascist.
Okay.
That seems to be what I get out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I was trying to think of what does that mean? What does it stand for?
Even
I was
if I
with
know
you.
what it means, I don't know what it means.
Yeah.
Okay.
But they are organized.
They're very well organized.
Very well organized,
The thing is
and I don't think they're helping the cause that the people that are peacefully. It's not helping, folks. It's not helping. It's making things worse.
Ed?
The thing that you don't know, again, because I don't trust the news anymore.
No. You can't.
Just because somebody says it's Antifa, that organization or whatever it is, doesn't mean that it's them. It could be just somebody saying, "Oh, it's them,"
And maybe it is.
And maybe it isn't them. I just don't know what to trust.
Right.
That brings me to a whole other thing, which probably doesn't have anything to do with this, I guess. But you take like Twitter and Facebook.
Okay.
Twitter has decided that they're going to try to debunk things that they think are
incorrect.
Right.
Right.
By either not
the
letting go on there, it will fact check.
Yeah.
They either won't put it on, or they'll put a notice after saying that we're going to leave it on because we think you should hear it.
Yeah.
But we don't know if it's accurate.
Okay.
Okay. And Facebook takes the opposite. They had Mark Zuckerberg last week. They had an interview on CNBC, and he said that I don't believe that social media platforms should be the arbiter of truth.
I
So
saw that.
those were his words.
Okay.
So in other words, if you want to make up a story, put it on Facebook.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
It don't matter what you say. We're going to let you put anything you want on there.
Right.
But how many times do you read, and again, I don't know if this is true, but I'll see something come up on my feed that'll say, give you the story, and it'll say, please share this or whatever while it's here because Facebook has removed it several times. Now, that may or may not be true. I don't
have
know.
seen that too.
I don't know.
Right.
I don't get my news from Facebook or Twitter.
You really shouldn't.
No.
But so if I put on Facebook, Ed Carew is organizing these riots.
Yeah.
They'll just let it go, and
apparently,
and say
he's not an arbiter of truth.
Okay. If I put that on Twitter, would it say we're not sure if this is completely true, but here it is.
Say,
but here it is.
We don't know who Ed Carew is.
Right.
No. Okay.
Well, and you know what, Ed? That's a great, not a great point, but a good point because you know how kids watch. That's what happens. Kids watch these Facebooks and Twitters and all of this.
That's where they get the news.
Especially the young ones. They're impressionable. They're going to believe it. I saw it on the internet, so it must be so.
It must be true.
And that's that's so dangerous. So dangerous. We live in not good times right now for this country and the world, actually.
Although I did see a joke on Facebook that just said,
"Did you
for the year 2020? Can we just have a reboot? Can we turn it off, and turn it back on again?
Bingo. 2020 has
see if we can get it right."
So
the beginning.
the biggest waste of money was buying a 2020 planner.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
So true.
It's true.
Just
it's not.
Cross everything out. Whatever you planned on doing, just cross it out. Yeah. All right, it's time for the forecast right now, and the forecast is being brought to you by CVS. They tell us it's going to be a mostly cloudy day today with a high temperature near 72. Tonight, cloudy skies and a slight chance of showers this evening as well. Low temperature around 57. Wednesday, a partly sunny day with just a slight chance of showers, mostly in the morning. And a high temperature on Wednesday will be near 82. Could be windy tomorrow as well. Wednesday night, partly cloudy, low around 62. Thursday, sunny, high near 83. And Friday, partly sunny, although they do say there is a chance of showers, and a high near 83. And currently outside the Navigant Credit Union broadcast studio on the corner of Park Avenue and Kennedy Street with sunny skies, we have 62 degrees. Get free 1 to 2 day delivery of prescriptions and store essentials from CVS. Visit them online or call your local CVS to learn more. Restrictions apply.
I'm here with Kara Benjamin of the Benjamin Insurance Agency. Kara, what's the best part of your job?
The best part of my job is providing security to families and help protect what's important to them. My specialty is picking apart policy details so customers understand their coverages and options. It can be very overwhelming, and I am here to help with that.
You're in good hands with Allstate and Kara and Celeste Benjamin of the Benjamin Insurance Agency, 125 Eddie Dowling Highway, across from Dowling Village in North Smithfield, 765-5000.
Our business is truly a referral business, and we have built it based on our premier service level and commitment to what we do. If you are looking for personalized service with people who care, that would be us.
Our family caring for your family. The Holiday Retirement Home is a skilled nursing and rehabilitation facility with a home-like atmosphere where laughter is the best medicine. The Holiday keeps their patients and residents involved in varied activities and events so they have the opportunity to live life to the fullest. The Holiday Retirement Home has their own in-house physical, occupational, and speech therapy staff with more than 300 years of combined experience. Stop in for a tour. The Holiday is right off Route 99 on Sales Hill Road in Manville, and for more information you can visit their website at holidayretirement.com.
Hi, Parrot Heads. This is Joe Callahan, your maitre d' in the Tiki Bar every Tuesday night from 6 to 7. 1 full hour of nothing but Jimmy Buffett music. The Tiki Bar is brought to you by attorney Bob Lauder and by the Carew Investment Group.
ON Radio, ON Worldwide.
All right, Coffee In on ON AM and FM. Yeah, you can hear the Tiki Bar tonight from 6 until 7. Speaking of the Tiki Bar and Jimmy Buffett, Nashville, Tennessee, there is a Margaritaville, which is a restaurant/gift shop. Yeah. They got looted.
Really?
Really?
This is in Nashville. And so it's happening in a lot of cities, yes, but smaller cities. not like Boston and New York and L.A., but they're hitting like Omaha, Nebraska, and Louisville, Kentucky, and Nashville, and Fargo, North Dakota. Things
Fargo,
like that.
North Dakota?
Yep. There was another one.
Wow.
And there was one in South Dakota, too. So,
Wow.
and they were in Bangor, Maine last night as well. So they're hitting all the mid-size and up cities. And I did see something online, and they said, like your friend said, look out, because they're going to start branching out into the suburbs and go to for looting purposes, going to strip malls and things like that.
Well, those are easy targets. Everything is on one level.
Yes.
You can, do a whole bunch of them.
Yeah. So that's where we go. I wonder what the governor of Rhode Island is going to say today, because she did come out and say how proud she was of the peaceful protesters.
Right, she was. Yeah, she did. Yeah.
But we'll see what she says today about what happened about the vandalism and things that happened last night. All right. Yeah. Moving on to something else, I wanted to bring in this up to Ed as well, and we brought it up yesterday for the good news. I watched the SpaceX rocket on Saturday with Elon Musk, and I saw interviews with him, Ed, and he seems pretty normal, at least in these interviews. But I was thinking of you, and because you said last week how this is a brilliant man.
He is,
and you're right, and to be able to put this program together and work together with his team, working with NASA to launch this rocket was one of the coolest things I've ever seen. I said, this is absolutely amazing, and I had to laugh because they made a point of saying it as I was watching it on the Discovery Channel or the Sci-Fi Channel. They had live coverage. Here come the two astronauts, Bob and Doug, in the Teslas. That's right. And they made a point of saying that they were in their Teslas driving up to the rocket so they can go up into the elevator and take off. Did you watch it, Linda? Did you watch the rocket?
I did watch it. I thought it was awesome. You know what impressed me? In science, the man's brilliant, and he does interview very well. He does. But their suits.
Those were really cool. Very sleek.
They were
slick. Not like the older days.
Right.
Elon Musk had a designer from Los Angeles, I think it was, to design those suits.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Not
very
big
cool.
and bulky. They were very, I don't want to say slenderizing, but they were not big and bulky. That was very impressive. And the other thing that I was impressed when they docked and got into the
space station.
The space station, how they were welcomed.
Need to make this quick announcement. Due to the workers that are on the tower, ONFM 99.5 will temporarily leave the air at this time. Please tune in to ON Radio on 1240 AM to continue listening to the Coffee AM program. So we are not on the FM right now because they're working on it.
Okay.
There we go. And I heard yesterday from one of them that said when they docked with the space station, how smooth it was, and they never felt it.
Wow!
They said when you went up with in the space shuttle, it was smooth, but when you connected, you could feel it. It jolted a little, not bad.
Yeah.
But with theirs, nope.
They said the same thing about the takeoff.
Was smooth?
Was smooth. It was. You said usually with NASA.
Yeah.
Rockets, when they take off, there's like a
shakes?
stuttering. Yeah,
okay.
Right?
Uh-huh.
And with this, it was completely smooth.
Yeah.
And the astronauts mentioned in one interview I saw that they were amazed at how the cockpit looked, the instruments and all of that kind of stuff.
Well, what I noticed, you look at the old takeoffs of the Apollo series, and there's knobs and switches everywhere.
Right.
Not anymore. Now it's 3 computer screens.
Yeah.
And you just touch the screen. I'm like, wow.
And they look like they were sitting in their recliner in their living room.
That's right.
They looked
comfortable.
In the past, they looked very uncomfortable.
Yeah.
I'm like, what the heck are you doing?
I think they were in the past.
Yeah, well, I'm sure, but they looked very comfortable. Everything, it was impressive.
Yes,
most impressive, and he does interview extremely well.
Elon?
He really does. Yeah, he really does.
He must have been super proud.
Yeah. Well, yeah, as he should be.
Yep. And I know they're about halfway through, and we got to get them back as well. And then it'll be a real success. When they come back. But the whole part of the rocket going up. And the rocket deploying away from, or the capsule, the Dragon deploying away from the rocket, and then the rocket falling back to Earth,
back.
and then getting it out of the ocean, or it landed on the ship. I'm not sure which it did.
I didn't see how this one did, but he is able and has done in the past have a rocket go up and come back down and land.
So that's what it was.
Standing up, just ready to go.
Yeah.
Because I saw that they were on the ship, and I kept looking beyond the ship. Oh, I'm going to wait to see this thing fall in the ocean.
Yeah.
Never saw it.
No.
Next thing you know, it's on the ship. I go, and I'm thinking, did it land there? It must have. I'm like, wow. So my daughter was watching it, and she just questioned, are the astronauts' feet? It looked like they were on the windows of the capsule. I said, I don't think so. That would really block their view. And it looked like it was just to the side. And it was funny. They did ask one of the astronauts, okay, what are they doing right now? Oh, they can't wait to look outside. They want to be able to look out into space. That's what they're waiting for.
Well, that's going to be an awesome sight.
There's one.
Just zooming on by. So that was pretty cool. And I mentioned this yesterday because they had a story on 60 Minutes. The rover for Mars is going up in July, and they're going to be able to collect stuff and leave it on the surface, and then send another rocket up there to pick up this stuff and bring it back. I don't know why it has to be done in 2 stages. It just does. But it's all there, and they kept saying this is all a big step to, 1, going back to the moon, and 2, eventually sending somebody to Mars.
Yeah.
And watching what happened on Saturday, I said, this is going to happen faster now.
And that's the new
I
Space
think.
Force we have.
Yeah, maybe it is. And but that was
part of that.
So hats off to Elon. Who,
Yes.
Smart man.
Oh yeah.
Well, congratulations. I think that
him and his team. Wow.
Yeah.
That was.
I think that's very awesome.
It was. All right. Good for that. Let's see. So this probably doesn't affect you two at all.
Why?
Because a state superior court judge has ruled that sports gambling in Rhode Island is constitutional.
Yeah, I saw that.
So someone was fighting against it because they thought they had to have the people vote on it.
Yeah.
And a judge said nope. It's been ruled constitutional and it can go forward. So, you want to hear an amusing story? Since it involves sports betting?
Yep.
Back in January or early February, the Boston Bruins were doing really well. In fact, they ended up in first place now. And I said, you know what? I'm going to place a sports bet. And I put $20 down at Twin River Casino on the Boston Bruins to win the Stanley Cup. I don't even know if they're going to have a Stanley Cup this year.
Right.
I don't know if I'm going to get my $20 back. If they don't have, they plan on having a Stanley Cup playoff that may start in July, but they don't know. They're all waiting on the commissioner's waiting on the CDC and things like that, and guidelines when they can start up. So, will Joe get his money back?
Will
Stay
Joe
tuned.
Is
Stay tuned.
your bet still valid too?
Well, I don't know because
will it be?
I hope so.
Yeah.
Place the bet. Got my little betting slip. I still have it.
Yeah, but hang on to that.
I know, and it's in a drawer. I know where it is.
You know where it is. Okay.
I can lay my hands on it, but and then the casino shut down. I said I can't even go back and say, can I have my money back on this? Because who knows if they're gonna, and would they even give it to me? Would they have to say, well, we're going to wait until they might play, because they're not in the business of giving you your money back.
I'm sure they're not.
and then they said, well, Twin River was gonna reopen by invitation only. Still waiting for my invitation.
Invitation only.
It didn't.
Yeah, I think that's for the big bettors, right? For the big people. No.
Well, it would be for the big bettors, and it's also for the people that use that card. If you ever sign up, if you go to a casino, you can sign up for one of their players' cards.
Oh yeah,
stuff.
I'm saying, oh yeah, what do I know?
well, maybe you do.
No, I don't.
and these people, they take the card and they will put it into the slot machine, so the casino knows when you're there and how much you're betting.
Wow.
And it's got your, when you sign up for the card, you give name, address, phone, all that fun information. And so I'm thinking those people are going to get the invites first.
Yeah.
If they check my card, all right, Joe was here once in the last 6 months. And so I'm not going to get the
Joe, maybe not.
I was going to get the invitation.
You're going to go in the clown pile.
That's right.
This guy's a clown. Looking at him.
It's funny. I went. I was at Mohegan Sun one time one year and signed up for their card. Okay, and then I didn't go back for another year because I went there to see a concert, but I got the card just to get the card, and they had something. Put your card in this machine. You get some free spin on something. Maybe you'll win a car or something like that. It was like off the casino floor, and I went in. For some reason, my card didn't work, and so I went to the players whatever to get a new card. And they said, okay, this isn't a problem. But when they were doing all their stuff, the person behind the counter said, wow, you don't come here very often, do you? So they know so much information about that's right, about what your habits are at their establishment. Way too much information that they have about you. And it's funny, I had to go, Dave and I went on a business trip to Buffalo. Well, there was a casino up there, too. So I went to that one. I signed up for their card. I still get emails from Seneca Falls, New York, and their casino. Who's coming, when they're coming. Come on out. We're having a big thing. Well, it's a little far away to drive to get to that specific casino. So they got all the information on me as well. All right. More Coffee In is coming your way. We ask you to please stay tuned.
Outdoor dining is now being offered at River Falls Restaurant. Come and enjoy your meal with the Blackstone River in the background. You need to make a reservation in order to eat outside at River Falls, so call 401-235-9026 for reservations. And your party needs to be 5 people or less. River Falls Restaurant is ready to provide you with their great burgers, combo meals, seafood, pasta, chicken, veal, and prime rib. Come and enjoy your meal outside at River Falls Restaurant, Market Square, Woonsocket. Call for reservations today, 401-235-9026, 235-9026, River Falls Restaurant.
Legal situations may arise at any time. They're a part of everyday life. Personal injury, traffic violation, DUI charge, criminal defense. When you need sound legal advice, call attorney Peter J. Hopkins at 356-1043. You'll be treated with dignity and respect. That's attorney Peter J. Hopkins, 191 Social Street, Woonsocket, 356-1043. It's important to have someone in your corner. Attorney Peter J. Hopkins, 356-1043.
Our lives have changed in many ways since the beginning of the COVID-19 pandemic. Spending more time at home has given us opportunities to organize, try new recipes, and take virtual fitness classes. We've embraced distant learning and connect with work and friends through Zoom meetings. But what about your children's mental health? Have you talked to them and asked them how they're feeling? Remember to check in with your kids. Take a walk with them, share a meal, and offer your support. Talk early, talk often, talk now.
This message sponsored by the Blackstone Valley Prevention Coalition and the Department of Behavioral Health Care, Developmental Disabilities, and Hospitals.
Hey, this is Bonnie James.
And I'm Dave Koz, inviting you to listen in this weekend when my very special guest will be super saxophonist Bonnie James. Always a great guest, lots of great music, and fun conversation as well, so tune in for that. And remember to visit davekoz.com during the week and listen in this weekend, Bonnie James and yours truly on the Dave Koz Radio Show.
Hi, fans of smooth jazz. The Dave Koz Radio Show can only be heard on ON Radio, 1240 AM, 99.5 FM every Sunday. Twice on Sundays, 6 to 8 in the morning, and then 7 to 9 in the evening. The Dave Koz Radio Show is brought to you by the Carew Investment Group. It's the Dave Koz Radio Show right here on
ON, AM, and FM.
And it's Coffee In on ON, AM, and FM. This is Joe Callahan. And Ed Cruz here, and Linda Tebow's here. Still here, Ed?
I'm still here.
Ed, your voice has changed.
I'm not here.
Oh, Ed, I'm sorry.
And Linda is still here, too. That's good. So that's good information. So, Linda, good news, by the way. The number of COVID-19 hospitalized COVID-19 patients is under 200.
I know.
It hasn't been that low since the beginning of April.
Right, exactly.
So this is a good trend.
Was that in Rhode
It's
Island?
a very
In
good
Rhode Island,
trend.
yes.
Rhode Island is, it's plateaued and everything has declined every day.
Let's hope so,
We're still seeing the fatalities, sadly,
Yes.
in the long-term care. And, we all have to remember they're people. They're not just numbers. And, But no, it is, I think, in Rhode Island, I know, I try to listen to the governor every day because that's where I try to get my information, from Dr.
You don't get it from Facebook?
I do not, Ed. I don't. But, I mean,
You don't know
I
what you're missing.
all
the
sorts of news
director of the Department of Health, and so, you get the actual, just the facts, like Dragnet. And it is good, and I think that they're attributing it to, and even when Governor Walsh was saying, people are trying, up to this point, have been trying to keep the social distancing and wearing the masks and, keeping the crowd down. That's why I'm very afraid now of all these protests. There are so many gatherings.
It might go back up. You
and I think it might. Yeah, I think it might. Yeah. But,
Okay.
You know what? You were talking about your gambling thing. Can I tell you about something that I'm going to be doing on Friday?
What's your gambling problem?
But a segue in, can I tell you something?
Sure.
I've been doing laps out in my private parking lot back out there. It's like a track. So on Friday, I'm doing a virtual race with, it's the 2020 Yukon Health. It's half marathon. I'm not doing that. 10K or 5K.
Okay.
So I'm doing a virtual with my grandson he's done half marathons, but he's going to do the 10K. My daughter Kimberly is going to do the 5K, and I'm going to do the 5K here. And so on Friday, we're going to walk at the same time. I've got my little T-shirt. I've got my, that thing, the bib thing that you wear.
Yeah.
And, so we're doing that. So I'm doing the 5K. And then we just put our miles in, our time in afterwards. So I think that's kind of cool. 3 generations.
Well, I'm going to put $10 down on Linda, Ed.
There you go. Well, I thought it fit right in, Joe. I mean, it's a light, but I thought we could use something light to laugh about. But
right. Well, good for you.
I'm excited.
When does this take place?
Well, we're going to do it Friday. They're supposed to tell me what time they're going, because we're going to start off at the same time.
Yeah.
They're in Southborough.
Yeah.
They're in Southborough. And so I figured they'll get a picture there, and then I'll get a picture here. I make my husband take a picture.
Okay.
And then we'll put them together.
Yeah. Nice.
And, so I think that's kind of cool. In the light,
cool.
in view of all the nastiness that's happening, that I'm doing a virtual 5K.
All right. Well,
on Friday.
Good for you.
Sorry about that.
So, Ed, I'm sure you were riveted to your television last night.
Was I?
Well, tell me.
I didn't know
because in Massachusetts, Senator Ed Markey and Congressman Joe Kennedy had their first debate.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Were you riveted?
No, I was not.
Did you watch it, Ed?
Of course not.
No, I didn't.
Okay.
I knew it was on, but I didn't see it either.
You didn't? I didn't watch it.
So Kennedy's going after Ed Markey, basically, and he's basically saying, "Well, Ed, you're too old. Not Ed Carew, Ed.
Yeah.
Ed Markey, you're too old. You're 73, so it's time for you to move on and let us younger whippersnappers get in there. Because Kennedy is, how old is he?
I have no idea.
I think he's 29. Anyway, he's much younger. So that's what he basically said. Markey focused all his attacks on President Trump.
Well,
I don't know how that makes you a better senator, but that's what they did.
And I think Joe Kennedy and his commercials, not his commercials.
No, those are his commercials. And I think his commercials are terrible.
All right, his commercials, he's kind of doing the same thing.
He is doing the same thing. He doesn't go after Markey at all in his record. He goes after Trump.
No, it's who can bash Trump.
And I looked at my wife and said, "Well, it sounds like he's running for president. We have to turn around everything that Donald Trump has done. Why aren't you running for president then?"
Yeah. And and he's very naive that a freshman senator would be able to get anything done. Quite honestly, you need tenure for that to happen.
But Ed, good news. Both men, Ed Markey and Joe Kennedy, agree that Elizabeth Warren would make a good choice. Sorry about that. Couldn't
Oh
stop it.
yeah, Oh my God.
Good choice for what? Veep?
Good choice as Joe Biden's running mate.
Yeah,
They both
no,
think
he's
that would
gonna-
be a great idea.
He's got to pick somebody of color.
You think so? I've heard that.
I know he will. I bet.
He's already, well, hasn't he?
I'll
he's
bet
already-
a nickel.
well, he's already said he's picking a woman, right?
Yes.
Well,
he goes,
he's
he's definitely
definitely
picking a
gonna
woman. Okay.
He's definitely going to pick a woman, and I think it'll be a woman of color.
Okay. All right. So.
No.
Well, he might. I just don't know when he's going. Although it's pretty funny if you, because I get my news from Facebook, Ed. Because they just, speaking of Joe Biden, he's got a new nickname. You know what it is?
What? Not Sleepy Joe.
No, that's old.
That's old, right?
That's old.
What?
Because of what's happened with the rooting and everything. He's hiding Biden. Where's he been?
Biden.
Yes.
Oh, I like that.
You like that one? So-
That's a good one.
They've also some of the other right wingers, I should say, are also questioning where's Nancy Pelosi?
I know. Yeah.
And where's
Yeah.
Chuck Schumer? Mm-hmm. Haven't heard a thing from them since this started Memorial Day weekend.
Yep.
Nothing.
Right.
Nothing.
Yeah.
Isn't
Nobody's saying
isn't that
a word,
interesting?
No.
I know, isn't that it makes you go okay. Wow. Just looking at some of the other crazier stories. Let's see, what's a good one? Speaking of the SpaceX, the soundtrack for the SpaceX historic mission to the International Space Station was adorned with lots of classic rock. Did you know this?
Was
No.
what?
They were listening to a lot of classic rock.
Oh.
Saturday, the two NASA astronauts successfully launched into orbit on the Dragon spacecraft. Astronauts Bob Behnken and Doug Hurley blasted AC/DC's Back in Black to accompany their walk into the launch pad at Florida's Kennedy Space Center. It's been playing on the Tesla sound system.
Back in Black.
Yeah.
Right.
Saturday
They should
morning.
have played Thunderstruck.
Uh,
I love that.
Yeah,
That's my favorite.
favorite AC/DC song? On Sunday morning, they woke up in orbit to the mellow strains of Planet Caravan by Black Sabbath. I don't know that one by Black
I
Sabbath.
know that. No.
So, all right. Well, that's pretty cool.
They should have heard Rocket Man.
That's so cliche, though.
I know, but
I'm
it is
sure-
what it is.
I'm sure it's been done time and time again.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see. I've been hearing this lately. It started last week because of COVID-19 and the lack of people going out to restaurants. Mm-hmm. So that means there's less food being thrown away in dumpsters. The rats are starting to take over.
Take over what?
Take over the cities. They're
Really?
because they can't find the food where they normally find it. So they're venturing out more and more to
Into the neighborhoods.
into the neighborhoods of
Yeah.
the city. So like Boston and New York City and things like that. And because they go to the dumpsters, there's nothing there. Well, we got to move on. And but it's happening around the United Kingdom as well. Because they say phone calls. You look at some businesses are being destroyed by COVID-19, but some businesses, sales and busyness is going through the roof, and one of them is pest control companies.
Really?
They're
there you
getting
go.
calls like crazy
Yeah.
to come help us. So they're doing really well.
Wow.
But because the warmer weather is happening in England now as well, mating rats are becoming a problem in the UK.
Well,
I guess they're doing it out in the open.
shame on them.
Shame on them, yeah. Well, there's a pest control company out of the UK told the Daily Star, which is a newspaper, there's been more than an 80% increase in visits to their website.
Wow.
So they're doing really well, and experts say the warmer weather has led to ideal breeding conditions for the randy rodents, resulting in trash bins and empty office buildings getting overrun.
Wow.
Amazing, huh?
Well, some businesses, that's just like, the sanitizing businesses, too,
Yeah,
they're doing
they're
very
doing well.
well.
Mhm.
They're doing extremely well.
They're advising homeowners and commercial property owners in the United Kingdom to take measures to prevent an unmanageable amount of rats within the country. So they're having their issues over there.
Rat problem.
And I saw this has nothing to do with rats, but in the animal kingdom, if you're working at home, you got to go out and take your car out for a drive every now and then.
Yeah.
Because not only mice, but I saw a picture of it yesterday. A bird made a nest between the side view mirror, and the car. And made a nest for itself right there. Well, it's not. It's like a tree.
Yeah, right.
It's not moving. You know, they observe you. Okay, that thing hasn't moved in a week, maybe 2.
Wow.
Guess it's not going to move at all. I can make my home there.
Yeah.
Wow.
So get out there, dust off the car, take it out for a ride.
Take the bird nets off.
Wipe the bird's nests off and things like that. So
Get the pollen off the cars now. There's so much of it.
Oh, I know. I mean, my car used to be gray. Now it's green.
What color is it?
Well, it's kind of greenish now.
Green,
and I hate when there's just a small spritz of a shower, because all that does is create mud
Right,
on my car. I said, no,
exactly.
I need a downpour to wash this stuff away. I don't need a little spritzing.
Yeah,
It's
that's
not.
for sure.
It doesn't make the car look well. All right, we've come to the end of the program, so we thank you very much for listening in, everyone. Make sure you stay safe out there. Stay away from the protests and the rooting, okay?
Yeah.
Linda, thanks for joining us today.
My pleasure. Ed, I hope your friends are safe in Florida.
Yes,